After yesterday's video on GOG, I thought to myself, you know what we need with all the Genshin clones announced recently? A comprehensive list of high-quality gacha games like Genshin Impact that aren't. Genshin has redefined the gacha genre, and more than that, the gaming genre, setting a new standard for anime RPGs. And while many companies are quick to announce their own Genshin-adjacent games, much like Hada did with Tower of Fantasy, there are only really a few that stand out, that seem capable of replicating the quality that Hoyo have showed us was possible with a mobile or cross-platform mobile game. Today I want to introduce you to the only open-world anime RPGs worth getting excited for. These are games that are similar to Genshin Impact, but provide enough variation that they feel like real competition rather than clones. So sit back, pull out a bag of Doritos, a soda, and enjoy. In June 2023, a trailer was released for Unending Dawn that took the internet by storm. Every gacha, MMO, and gaming content creator covered the game. It looked phenomenal, fantastic character models, a dark, grim open world, enormous boss battles. This was Genshin Impact if it got invaded by monsters from Dark Souls. People began to label it as the anime Elden Ring, and for valid reason. This looked violent, impactful. Your character looked like they'd been through a lot, like she felt the impact of every weapon swing. Unfortunately, very little is known about the game, as the trailer was accompanied by a very small amount of information. We know it's an open world RPG. We know it's going to feature gacha elements. We know it's being developed by Parseus Fate Studio, utilizing Unreal Engine 5. Parseus confirmed that the reason it shares striking resemblances to Elden Impact, or Genshin Ring, whichever you prefer, is because they're looking to provide players the very first large-scale AAA-funded Soulsborne experience on mobile. Unending Dawn will be releasing cross-platform on PC, Android, and iOS with an expected closed beta date of 2024 and release date of 2025 at the latest. In August, a trailer was released for Project Mugen that, much like Unending Dawn, was covered by every creator in the anime and gaming scene, and set the gaming community ablaze with interest. Why? Because this game looked like Genshin Impact invaded the new Spider-Man video game universe and anime-fied everything and everyone. It genuinely looked unbelievable. So unbelievable, in fact, that many creators were discrediting the game, criticizing it for misleading fans with gameplay that just could not be real. This forced the team developing the game Naked Rain to show a full gameplay showcase, proving everyone wrong. At this juncture, interest grew at an unprecedented rate, and Project Mugen became a name known by all. And this was warranted. It has an enormous sandbox world, giving you 100% complete freedom over where you want to go, what you want to do, full action combat with some of the craziest special effects for abilities, varied weapons styles, guns, scythes, swords, magic. The world is built by AI and then customized by programmers. Project Mugen will be releasing cross-platform onto PC, Android, and iOS, and currently has an ongoing pre-registration period, with closed beta scheduled for 2024 and a release date speculated for 2024, possibly 2025 at the latest, depending on how the beta tests ultimately fare. Before we list any additional games, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolute legends. Now let's get back to the video. In July 2022, a trailer was released for Wuthering Waves, a much darker, more serious-looking game that seemed to take quite a bit of inspiration from Genshin. This was shortly before Tower of Fantasy was released globally, and failed globally. At the time, players were ecstatic. This is a game done by Kudo Game after all, and Kudo are known in the industry for punishing Grey Raven, the pinnacle of action combat in the gacha genre. After playing over 100 hours of the closed beta between my wife, Mrs. Stix, and I feel I can accurately state that this is a game that definitely feels like Genshin, the same large open world to explore, the same environmental interactions, climbing, gliding, and wall running, which is a mechanic new to the genre and exclusive to Wuthering Waves. Well, until Tower of Fantasy kind of ripped it. It features several characters you can swap between, weapon types, unique abilities specific to respective characters, although with a darker, more solemn palette, and exceptional combat. The action combat was so good, you might just end up playing it exclusively for that reason. It was faster, more fluid, more impactful than anything else I'd experienced, and just felt incredibly polished. Wuthering Waves will be releasing cross-platform on PC, Android, and iOS with beta tests still being held periodically, and the release date speculated for 2024. I highly doubt it'll release in 2025. In October 2023, a trailer was released for Wong Yua that quickly caught the eye of many players online. The reason being its surprising graphical style and focus. It is set in an imaginary Chinese-styled world, which is completely open for players to explore. We're given the freedom to explore the world both on foot, via vehicles, or by aircraft. You can build your vehicle from scratch by obtaining resources found out in the world, and proceed to customize it using a type of free placement customization, something that I've never seen any game outside of perhaps Tears of the Kingdom do. It features fast action combat, the option for both female and male characters to recruit via gacha, including the option for you to play as either gender upon beginning the game, an extensive vehicle customizer, and the most advanced questing system ever implemented, full AI-generated side quests. This provides players infinite replayability and an ever-evolving world. It is a very interesting route to take. Wong Yua will be releasing cross-platform on PC, Android, and iOS, and is allowing for pre-registration currently, with upcoming beta tests planned, and a release date speculated for 2024, potentially 2025 at the latest. In March 2022, a trailer was released for Ark Knights Enfield, the sequel spin-off to the popular Ark Knights strategy RPG. Set on a different world, featuring different characters, Endfield is going to take us on a completely separate journey. Endfield will feature a fully open world, allowing players the freedom to navigate and explore without restrictions, aided by little zip lines which connected various different archipelagos. Combat is similar to what was found in Xenoblade Chronicles. Technically, you possess the ability to control your movement while engaged in combat, kite if you're using a caster or an archer, maybe group together several different melee if you're on an AoE character, and your unit auto attacks with basic melee. But all abilities are used, controlled, and targeted by you specifically, making the combat technically a type of hybrid combat, a mixture of both action and auto. Ark Knights Enfield will be releasing cross-platform onto PC, Android, and iOS, with beta tests already underway and a release date speculated for 2024, maybe 2025 if things don't work out too well. In October 2023, a trailer was released for Duet Night Abyss, which garnered more attention than almost any other gacha revealed this year, partly because it looked absolutely incredible, and partly because it shared a lot of similarities with Warframe, being labeled Warframe Impact. It provides players an enormously open, freely explorable world. It features a deep, rich narrative, telling the story of demons from dual perspectives. There is a very fast, fully functional action combat system present, with arguably some of the best special effects players have ever seen in a gacha game, allowing for multiple weapon loadouts. Players will seamlessly swap between both ranged and melee weapons, allowing you to play in an entirely new way, breaking free of traditional limitations imposed by action gacha games. You'll engage enemies on the ground and take to the air to unleash massive barrages, something not many gacha games allow for. Environmental interactions include climbing, flying, sliding, and double jumping. Duet Night Abyss will be releasing cross-platform on PC, Android, and iOS, with beta tests planned and a release date speculated for late 2024, early 2025. That is our future. Gacha games that have the real potential to rival Genshin Impact, and even if they fail, gacha games that will likely still retain a sizable player base, providing players much in terms of gameplay and content diversity. The future is looking very bright for 2024, with more to look forward to next year than any other year up until this point, and I'm excited to be here and covering it all in real time. Now, if you want to learn more about games like these, try checking out one of these videos on screen for a list of gacha games releasing this month, or something a little different.